any fun yet, Mark?
I don't know about you. I don't even know about me.
All right, we've learned the secret.
Learn what secret? Let's play a song.
We learned the secret. I learned the secret.
Yes. Attorney General designate Loretta Lynch. There's talk now in Congress that within the next couple of weeks, her name might actually come up for a vote. They've been stalling this because the Republicans, God bless their souls, want to get an anti-abortion bill passed, a little proviso, and they said that the only way that they would bring her name up for a vote, because they already know it's a foregone conclusion that she's going to be approved. She has the credentials, it's just a matter of this abortion proviso that...
it's part of another bill, actually.
Well, it's Governor Brownback in Kansas and in other places, other governors. Little by little, state by state, they want to overturn Roe v. Wade.
I know, but the bill was not about abortion. This bill is a bill on...
Well, it has to do with second trimester abortions.
No, but you're not following it, Mark. This was an addition to a bill. It was like a pork that they added to a bill. This bill is not by itself. This was pork that they added to another bill.
Well, either way, it had to do with abortion.
And the Democratic Senate won't approve it. Won't have it approved.
They don't want to bring it up for a vote because they feel, number one, it has no place being added to bringing up Loretta Lynch's name for a vote.
Well, they're saying it's the next thing that they have to do. They're finished. When this is done, then they vote on the next one.
Well, they'll do anything they can, like I said, to overturn or make it more difficult for a woman to have control over her own body. And I think it's unconscionable. There are people who say that, for a man to get a vasectomy, he needs his wife's approval, which is true, by the way.
What is she called? What's her name? The new Attorney General?
Loretta Lynch.
How do you spell her name, Lo?
You would think that the Republicans who can't stand Eric Holder...
That's what the Republicans are saying.
You would think that they would want to bring her name up for approval just so Eric Holder could step down finally.
Well, let's just see what they...
By the way, I know we maybe shouldn't be doing this, but President Obama will be on Hardball with Chris Matthews at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. If anybody's interested, check your local listing to find out what channel it is.
I think he's full of it as anybody else. And I voted for him. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell on Sunday said he plans to hold up Attorney General nominee Loretta Lynch's confirmation until the Senate passes a non-controversial human trafficking bill. That's what's holding it up.
Larry even knew the word retirement. He was planning for it.
That's not what I heard him say today.
You don't listen. That's what I'm telling you. The pork they put added to it was something about the what do you call it? Was about the third trimester abortions.
Sounds like you are...
Follow what I'm saying?
Go back, I was reading something.
Yeah, no, but it's starting to talk again. I don't know if you understand what I was saying, Mark.
I heard you said
they threw in some pork.
there was background talking. I know.
No, but they threw in some pork, and that's what makes the bill not. Nobody opposes that bill, the human trafficking bill.
I think they're crazy if they do.
But the Democrats don't want the addition of. Okay, here, you want to read this now, but you're gonna have to read. You're gonna have to read out loud.
No.
You can't read it quietly because then there's silence.
It was. Here, wait.
This is where it was. There you go. But Mark, read loud, please. Otherwise, don't read. Otherwise, we just have silence.
No, I just wanted to see something. That's all.
And what did you see?
Whatever I saw,
like you are threatening to hold up Loretta Lynch, who has been in limbo for months and months.
It's not a threat. We need to finish this human trafficking bill that came out of the Judiciary Committee unanimously. That's the next item. It's on the right. Senate floor right now. We need to finish that so we have time to turn to the Attorney General, because the next week we'll be doing the budget, and 2 weeks and the next 2 weeks after that, Congress is not in session.
So unless Democrats give in, Loretta Lynch's nomination will not be on the Senate floor next week?
We have to finish the human trafficking bill. The Loretta Lynch nomination comes next. And as soon as we finish the human trafficking bill, we'll turn to the Attorney General.
Let's ask. I want to ask you about the Attorney General, because she initially really had bipartisan praise, support, and as the weeks and weeks and weeks have gone on since she's not gotten a vote, I believe maybe it was the longest in history for her post, she has lost support from many Republicans who say they don't like the idea that she agrees with the president's immigration plan, but. What else would they expect? The president, of course, will nominate somebody who agrees with his own plan. I mean, that's his prerogative.
Well, the nomination hasn't taken that long if you consider when it was actually taken up, which was this year. The Democrat majority back in December had a chance to work on the nomination earlier, decided to delay it until this year. The nomination is scheduled to be considered as soon as we finish the human trafficking bill. I think the Attorney General nominee is suffering from the president's actions. There's no question about it. The actions he took unilaterally on immigration after the election enraged a number of members. Lots of members have voted, have talked to the nominee. She had bipartisan support in committee. We'll take her up just as soon as we get through with this important human trafficking bill.
Will you vote for her?
I haven't made a decision yet.
What's holding you back? Is it that issue?
Well, I'm bringing her up. So I'm not denying the administration an opportunity to have the nominee.
No, I mean you personally.
I'm going to announce what I'm going to do at a later time. But the first thing we need to do is finish this important human trafficking bill, and then we can turn to the nomination of the Attorney General.
So what's holding up the human trafficking bill? He didn't say, did he?
He didn't. She didn't. And she didn't ask.
It's the next thing on the agenda. But
she
he didn't
did not
why
ask.
It's being held up.
She didn't ask. She should have asked.
Oh, come on.
What?
She should have asked.
You don't think she should have asked as a broadcaster? She should have pressed him?
It's common sense.
What? She should have pressed him.
Okay.
Let him say it.
All right, Felix. Yeah, okay.
If you listen to that, would you know why they're holding it up? If you listen to their broadcast, would you know why they're holding it up?
Then you do the interviewing next time, okay?
I'm just asking you a question.
No, I'm just giving you my opinion.
You didn't.
I did.
What was that? What was your opinion? I'm sorry, I didn't understand you.
Then that's you. You didn't understand me.
So can you repeat it? I'm not serious. Jesus Christ. You know, I'm asking you very serious questions here, Mark. And I'm not understanding you, and I apologize. But don't get upset when I'm not understanding you.
You do this all the time. He said that the next thing that they have to discuss is the human trafficking bill.
No, that's what they're working on now.
Yeah. Why can't they vote on that?
They are voting on it. There's a problem with it.
What's the problem?
That they added on that pork about the abortion.
The Republicans did.
Yeah, but she didn't ask him that. She didn't say anything about it. If you just listened to that, you would not know that was the problem, would you?
Yeah, you would if you listened to what's being said.
If you listen to that interview, you would not know what the problem was.
It's common sense. They brought up the whole point of...
Mark, I'm talking about the interview. She's interviewing him. What's the holdup? He's saying the human rights bill, the human trafficking bill. And why is the human trafficking bill?
And then he blamed the president because he said something about the immigration part of, the president said he's going to sign an executive order originally, okay, to approve the his own program for status for, the illegal immigrants or whatever. And McConnell deflected by saying, well, that's the president's fault, which you get all the time. Democrats say that it's Republicans' fault. Yeah. Republicans say
all I'm saying is you listen to that interview and the impression you get is they're having problem with the human trafficking bill.
They never said what the problem was.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And the problem is, and she should have asked what the problem is. The problem is the pork they added to it, which is you're talking about the abortion pork they added to that bill.
But that's why he's not going to bring it up, because the Republicans added.
Yeah, but she's a CNN correspondent. She should ask, as a correspondent, what is holding up the vote.
Well, if that was the case, then she was actually being nice to her guest, who obviously would have no explanation at all, because, it's his party that brought up this whole pork about abortion. All right, but I did hear that Kansas Governor Brownback and other officials, are trying to make it difficult to various states to get second trimester abortions, which means that anything over 12 weeks would be denied, okay? I don't even know if Kansas has a working abortion clinic anymore, because every time they try to open it, it gets bombed. I know it gets they protest and they get picketed a lot, but a couple of the doctors who were working out of that clinic no longer go back there because they're in fear for their lives.
I don't know. And I don't know what the abortion law they're trying to pass through is neither.
No, the thing that gets me is that anything that you want to get through Congress, there's always a stipulation added, at the last minute to throw a monkey wrench into the discussion of the bill or the vote, let's say. In the case of Loretta Lynch, there's no reason why there should be a stipulation about abortion when you're talking about the Attorney General's confirmation.
No,
we've gone already. All right, Holder is still Attorney General, but how effective can he possibly be if he is a lame duck? Okay? And then that's a big problem. The country needs an Attorney General, a top cop. And in essence, we really don't have one now.
Well, we do. I mean, you want to call him a lame duck, that's fine. But he's still doing the job.
Well, he's trying to do the job, but legislate, various Congress people, and it's mainly Republicans, let's be honest, will, not give him an opportunity to pass any meaningful, bring up any meaningful discussion about immigration or anything else.